Hi everyone, this is Monish here.
As you can see, today we are going to start up with a very interesting topic called as Wavy curve method. Now, first of all, Wavy curve method is used to solve inequalities only. Okay, so let's start with the Wavy curve. So here we have some steps written. So let me go through the steps for you. As you can see, the first step involved here is make coefficient of x as positive. Now, when I will be solving the problems, I will discuss each and every step in detail with you. So right now I'm just going through the steps. Second step which we have is find all critical points. Now, what do you mean by these critical points? These are the points where each term becomes zero. Again, with the problem, I will be explaining each and every step to you. The next step here is mark the critical point on number line with hollow or dark circles. Now, if you have less than equal to or greater than equal to sign, as mentioned here, then we will mark it as dark circle. And if we have a strict inequality, else otherwise, if there is no equal to sign involved, then we'll mark the number as hollow circle. Okay? And keep one very important thing in mind. If any term is from the denominator, you have to always mark it as hollow circle only, because for any fraction denominator cannot be 0. If the denominator is 0, will that fraction be defined? It won't be defined. Anything divided by 0 is not defined, right? So let's move to the next part. Mark extreme right as positive, and if power of term is odd, so how to deal with this particular step, it will be clearly understood with the example which I will be taking now. If the power is odd, change the sign. If power is even, keep the sign same. Now what do you mean by this? Little confusing, right? Let's go to an example. Okay? So I am keeping the steps here for your reference. Let's see. I have two terms here. So for example, the first term which we have here is x minus 1, and we have the other term as x minus 3. Now, as per my first step, make coefficient of x as positive. Here it is already positive. So first step done. Second step, plot all the critical points. Now what I have to see is at which value of x will these two numbers be 0. So this here number x minus 1 will become 0 when x is 1, and x minus 3 becomes 0 when x is 3. So on number line I have to plot 2 points, and those 2 points are 1 and 3. So let me draw a number line for you. So this is our number line. This is number line is for all real number, that is from minus infinity to infinity. Now I have to plot 1 and 3. Now obviously first left side 1, and on the right side you will have 3. Now we have equal to sign along with this. Greater than or equal to 0 is given to us. So as I mentioned here, if you have equal to sign, mark the points with a dark circle. Now why this dark circle? That will be the question. This dark circle indicates that I can take 1 and 3 as my solution set, in my solution set to be specific enough. Okay, now what happens, because of these 2 points, our entire number line got divided into three sections, section 1, section 2, and this section 3. Now, this is how the sections are formed. Now, as per the next step, mark extreme right section as positive. Means what? Here, this section is the extreme right section. So, I will mark it as positive. Now, why positive, and what does this positive even mean? So, this positive here means that the numbers greater than 3, if substituted in this inequality, will result in a positive value. झूठ लग रहा है? If you want to check, let's try. I will take x as 4 and substitute here. So I will get the value as 4 minus 1 into 4 minus 3. That is 3, which is a positive quantity. So I hope I am very clear with this particular step. Mark extreme right as positive. Now moving towards left, I will come across this number 3. This number is obtained from this term here, x minus 3. Check the power of x minus 3 entirely. So if you look, the power of x minus 3 here entirely is nothing but 1. and 1 being an odd number, I have to change the sign. Now change sign of what? So since it was plus here, in the next section this will be minus. This is what we mean by change the sign. In the next section we have minus sign. Now this minus sign means if I put any number from 1 to 3, between 1 and 3, the result will be negative. Check करके देखते हैं. So I put x as 2. So the result, if I put x as 2, will be 2 minus 1 is 1, and 2 into 2 minus 3, that is into minus 1, will be minus 1, negative. And last part, now I am moving towards 1. This 1 was obtained from this particular term, and the power of this term is again 1, that is odd. See, the power here is 1, so which is odd. So again I have to change the sign. Now change the sign for what? We had negative in the previous section. Now this section will be changed the sign and it will become positive. So this is where we complete this particular step. If the power was even, I wouldn't have changed the sign. Okay? Now last part and the most important part. Greater than 0 means positive, less than 0 means negative. Select corresponding values. Now the question is asked for this entire term to be greater than or equal to 0. Since there is a greater than symbol, 0. Now greater than 0 means positive. So you have to check where do you have the plus sign. So as I can see, I have plus sign in these two regions as marked here. So my answer will be written as follows. So the answer for this question will be x belongs to minus infinity to 1. Now since 1 is included in the solution, I have to mark 1 with a square bracket. In minus infinity and infinity are always round bracket. Union, because there is another part also, I have to consider it also. So I have to take union 3 comma infinity, that is from 3 to infinity. So this is how you solve a basic example which was based on Wavy curve. Let's move to the second example where there are more terms involved. So let's move to this next example which I have here. So let me have this question for you. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, so first of all, how many terms are here? There are 3 terms. Little complicated than the previous one. Okay, now in this there is a numerator and denominator also. So let's recollect the step. First I have to check all the coefficient of x is positive. So here it is positive, here, oh, here it is negative. So the coefficient of x here is negative. But the first step was make it positive, right? And check the denominator also. Here it is positive. So to make 3 minus x as positive coefficient of x, I will be taking negative common. So if I take negative common from here, so minus, we will have x minus 3 and x minus 2 whole square upon x plus 5 greater than 0. Now, when you remove this negative, the inequality will reverse. Okay, so we will be left with x minus 3 into x minus 2 the whole square upon x plus 5 is less than 0. Now we have to use wavy curve on this particular inequality. So now here, first of all, we'll plot all the critical points since we have number line here, minus infinity to infinity. The numbers which we need will be 3, 2 and minus 5. These are the critical points, 3, 2 and minus 5. So according to the sequence, minus 5, then I will have 2, then I will have 3. And as there is no equal to sign anywhere, so what I said, if there was equal to, so the points from the numerator will be dark circle. As there is no equal to, all these numbers will be hollow circle. So I will be marking them with hollow circles. Now total we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 sections formed. Now let us start with the rightmost section and mark it as positive. Afterwards we move towards this number 3. The power for this term is 1, that is odd. So the sign will change as in it will become minus in this particular section. Then we will move towards 2. Now this 2 is obtained from this particular term which has power as 2. Now in this problem we have an even power. So this even power means the sign remains same. So If I have a negative sign, so for the next section also I will be keeping the sign as negative. Moving further to the last digit here, this is 5. Minus 5 is obtained from this term which has odd power, so obviously sign will change. So sign changes to plus. Now, next part is observing this. It is less than 0. Now, what do you mean by less than 0? Less than 0 means negative. So I have to focus on the sections where the values are negatively marked. So this is the part and this is the part. So I will be writing this answer as x belongs to, say, minus 5 to 2, round bracket, union 2 to 3. So this is our answer. I hope you understood this topic clearly. Thank you so much.